It's actually recording this time. You're listening to Three Sleepy Gays podcast. Episode 14?
Yes, episode 14.
Alright, you're listening to Three Stuffed Guys, episode 14. This is... What do we decide this was? A comedic newscast.
Yes. Using topical events from around the globe.
Mm-hmm. Topical and relevant.
Through the prism of our collected wisdom.
I love it. Sounds good.
I mean, that's just poetry right there.
Should call you Ralph. I'm Blake Rudy.
I'm Ralph. Rudy.
I'm Seymour.
Butts.
Alright, what are our real names?
Seymour Butts. Jeff Campbell.
Loose asshole. I'm just kidding, Matt Rudy.
Okay,
so yes, this is a,
I already tell this podcast
comedic news show that will also
Jeff, we already
review.
said that.
I know, but I'm recapping. This is an attention deficit disorder generation, okay? They don't know what we just said 3 seconds ago.
What is our generation called?
I don't know what yours is. I'm the tail end of Gen X. So I have
Generation X?
Generation X.
Like the Yu-Gi-Oh show? You done over there, Matt? You done with your
I'm
shoes?
good.
Okay.
You guys are probably Gen Y. I'm pretty sure that's what you guys would be called.
So
that's what they were.
Are we saying that the next generation is the last generation? Because it's the last letter of the alphabet?
Oh, yeah, pretty much. I mean,
okay.
No, they actually called, like, my son's generation they're just called the millennials.
Wow.
Exactly. That's what I said. I was like,
I can't wait to see the TV show. Created by Tim Crane. The Millennials.
The millennials.
Can't wait to see where, religions come out of that.
No one cares about that.
Like 1,000 years from now?
No one cares
The
about that.
millennials.
No. Millenniology. Ooh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Alright. Oh, well, and we're also going to review...
Is that starting this episode?
I don't know. Is it going to start? Or are we just...
Probably not, but we can
It's
announce
not going
it.
to start this episode? Okay.
We can announce it, though. Just get people excited.
We're going to...
Get our 2 viewers excited.
Exactly. Well,
Matt looks confused.
What?
We talked about it at the restaurant, Matt. Were you not? Yeah, that's right. You were in your bowl of soup zone. Nothing could penetrate that. Especially not the hot-ass waitress that you didn't even look at. That I couldn't
Wait, was she the hostess?
No,
definitely
Laura
not.
was. Well, she was in your wheelhouse, but she's way too young for us.
And way too
the other
nothing
one,
going
yeah,
on.
way too like flat and just nothing.
Both
but the other one, dear God, and you missed it.
You were just in that bowl, just drowning yourself in that.
The bowl of soup was fucking huge.
It was very large. I'll give you that.
Holy shit.
Alright, so we did our names, we did the show title, and what the show's about.
Right.
We will be reviewing restaurants,
Yes.
food, that kind of shit.
Food, service, location.
Mm-hmm. Location is key.
Even though almost all of them will probably be
architecture.
Architecture, decor.
Hot waitresses or not.
Yeah, whether fluffers are on standby or not.
Whether they're
Although I think if we ever found a restaurant in which they were, it would probably be the only restaurant we'd ever eat at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, I was like, could you imagine eating a giant bowl of tortilla soup as someone jerks you off underneath the table?
If it was that waitress? Yes.
What if it was one of the waiters?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, if you just close your eyes...
Then you can think it was the waitress.
Exactly. Then it could be anybody down there.
Who did Matt think about?
Raphael. When he was in 8th grade.
when Raphael had hair.
Oh, wow.
We need catchphrases. Bazinga.
Bazinga. That's right.
We can't use that. I think we just got sued.
We probably did just get sued. CBS Entertainment just sent us a cease and desist.
CBS. Okay, Matt doesn't know what we're talking about, so we'll move on. What do we have to eat?
We ate at a Mexican restaurant named Casa Rita's. And I had chips and queso. And
what is your deal over there?
brisket enchiladas with double refried beans because I don't like Mexican rice.
Fucking racist.
And it was fantastic. It was really good.
Okay. I had a chicken enchilada with a chicken soft taco.
Not as good, but that's cool. That's cool.
With Mexican rice.
Yeah, no.
Refried beans.
There you go.
And chips and salsa.
Salsa, no, okay. So,
Matt, what did you eat today?
Oh, God.
Yeah, what did you have?
I had probably the biggest bowl of fucking tortilla soup I've ever had. And that was it.
Okay. It was, that was a very big bowl of
No
soup.
shit.
That is true.
Like a fucking...
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a bowl of soup that
No,
big
I've
in my
never
life.
seen... No. And when they brought it out, I was like... I was just like pissed off. Like that's how big it was. It was just like ridiculous. I'm like,
Yes,
this is
you were disproportionately angry at the amount of food they were giving you.
Yeah, it was just like insane.
It was insulting.
It almost was. Like, I don't know.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect them to bring you out a sensible sized meal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I do.
instead, they bring you out the sombrero of tortilla soup.
It's like when you go to a Cheesecake Factory and they bring out the food and you're just like, and you know it's going to be a big portion, and then when they bring it out, it still surpasses your expectation.
It is. They do have big portions. That's true.
You just look at it and you're just like, you cocky little fucks. Like, there are people starving, and this place just doesn't give a shit.
It's true. They don't give a shit.
They don't.
I had a Gordon Ramsay moment. It's like when they bring out like one of those like plates that's just like fucking over the top. I mean, even that bowl was like over the top. Like the fucking design on it was like, oh my god, I don't know.
Well, hey, we said we were going to talk about the decor and stuff, so
Yeah.
I still say we
But
start
like
this week.
that bowl was fucking racist. Let's just be honest. That bowl was so Mexican. Like it was.
It's a Mexican restaurant.
No, it went way overboard. It went way overboard.
It's a Tex-Mex restaurant. This bowl was straight Mexican. Is what I
This bowl
think what
was
Matt's
like-
trying to say.
I don't know. I don't even know how to say
It was like Speedy
yeah, 'cause,
Gonzalez.
like, 'cause, like, when you
Stevie
go-
John Jones racist.
when you go like Mexican, like actual Mexican restaurants, like the bowls are like simple because Mexicans are simple
Because
people.
that's how Mexicans live. That's right. They don't have the finer things in life.
I'm like that's realistic. It's realistic Mexican. Like this was racist Mexican.
So this was
this is
This is like the Michael Bay of Mexican restaurants.
this is like what white conservative people think Mexicans are like. Just wild, fucking colorful people that are dancing in
that
the
could
street.
explain why our waiter did a little salsa dance.
Yeah.
Right in Matt's face too, which I
Right,
love.
Like his junk was right in Matt's face.
He put his finger in Matt's mouth and Matt loved it.
He's like, what the fuck did he say to you when or he's like, oh, we got that blanco queso, and he like shook his like little hips. I'm like, what the fuck is like going on?
Oh, I get it now. It was because he wanted
Blanco,
to
that's
squirt
why.
his Blanco queso
Of course.
on Matt.
Well, yeah, of course. That's why I gave him the biggest bowl find in the back. That's probably not their real bowl.
Oh my god!
It's probably a joke.
I know. Probably.
Like, I'm sorry, that fucking that should be under like a main course. What I fucking had.
That was probably the bowl that they have in the back to put the other bowls in
I know.
so that they can wash it.
Exactly. It's really more like a basin than anything else. I'll have the basin of tortilla soup, please.
I literally thought Matt was going to find full tortillas in there, like
I know.
hidden.
Wow.
That was pretty awesome.
That was pretty awesome.
But you gotta admit, for $8 for a drink and a giant bowl of tortilla
That's
soup.
a lot, man. That's a pretty good
You
deal.
got a good deal.
Actually.
No.
Yes, it was.
It was
You're
just soup.
full.
And
Dude,
yeah, full.
I
full
know that
belly.
soup was fucking microwaved.
It don't matter how you prepare it.
So, Mexican
It's
restaurants,
probably
that's
from,
all
like,
they do is
yesterday.
microwave all their food.
It's probably from like yesterday. That's nasty.
They probably had to double up.
Maybe.
Because
They had
I've
leftovers.
had like
Maybe
had,
that's what
like,
it was.
really
Maybe
good-
That was like their version of the.
because I've
kitchen
had
soup
I've
meal.
had
Just
good
throw
tortilla
everything
soup.
into it and get it out.
Like there's like a little like breakfast cafe that me and Dad go to, and like
On your
and like
dates.
like when I get like a cup of soup, like it's just like a little, like it's like proportionate cup. It's not like giant, and it's good, and it's made fresh daily.
Now, do you know it's made fresh daily, or does the sign say that it's made fresh
No,
daily?
I know it is.
Do you go in and watch them every day and make sure?
Yep,
they
I
make it?
do. Goddamn right, I do.
How do you know Casaritas doesn't do theirs daily?
But yeah, I just tell.
Hmm.
Because they had to put it in the back, so they're hiding things now.
Rather than cook out on the floor,
Yeah,
like real restaurants should.
yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, they actually did that at Lowry's. Like, I'd never been to Lowry's before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to high-end steakhouses, but I've never been to a
Oh
place...
God! Look at us.
Oh!
I've been to high-end
I have,
steakhouses.
but I'd never been to a place where it looked like a goddamn iron lung that they wheeled out into the actual room. Because we had a banquet room, because it was a corporate party. But they wheeled out this big, huge monstrosity that I did not know what the hell to expect from it. It just sat in the corner because it was a 5-course meal, so we had through all these courses until we get to the main entree, and it's just sitting in the corner of the room the whole time.
Yeah.
And I just keep looking at it, and I'm like, the fuck is that?
You're like, that's where they keep Terry Shiva.
Maybe.
She's still alive.
Exactly. I did. It looks like a fucking iron lung. But anyway, so the entrees, they start getting them prepared and stuff like that, and all of a sudden this guy walks in and he's wearing the big tall chef hat, and he's wearing a goddamn medal. Okay?
Yes.
It's like, what the fuck?
like a wrestling
an
medal?
Olympic-
Yes! I was like, what the hell? Except it was huge.
Like a giant Olympic medal.
Yes.
No, it'd been awesome if that medal was made of chocolate.
That would have been cool.
Eating the while he's cooking.
That would have been awesome.
What if it was butter wrapped up and he was putting the butter on top of your steaks?
That would be fine as well.
You just took the entire thing
But to
and
just have
put
an
it on one
actual
steak.
medal
He's
that
like,
you're wearing
Yeah.
for no discernible reason other than to say, I don't know what you won this medal in.
He gives a little wink at you, like, yeah,
Maybe.
you saw the medal, did you?
It'd be awesome if if the medallion was butter, he put the butter in the pan and then your steaks on top of the butter, and that's how he cooked it. He just covered it and cooked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just smoked it with the
We're
butter.
good with all these
Yeah,
reasons.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so he comes in.
What if it was a cookie pie?
He opens up the...
Holy shit!
What if there's a big Oreo? Let's rattle off what we think this medal might have been, other than just a medal.
It was a medal. Let me just tell you that. It was a medal.
He could have been the Special Olympics because they need big medals because if they lose it, it's easier to find a big medal.
That actually makes sense.
No, but it would weigh too much for most of those kids.
No,
That's
no,
right.
retards have
no.
recharge strength.
Not all of them.
Jeff.
Don't fuck with me. Yes, they did.
Not all of
Yeah,
them.
they did.
No,
Yeah,
they
they
did.
did. Continue your story because you're talking blasphemy right now.
Now we're in the
Now we're going off the rails right now.
What?
I know.
We're being unprofessional.
Okay, so fine. He opens up the thing, and on it, he's got 2 giant prime ribs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because that's what their main specialty is. Obviously, their Lowry's the prime rib.
It's disappointing.
No, I didn't get the prime rib. I don't like prime
What'd you
rib.
get?
I got the filet mignon.
Ooh, of course. Yes.
Bacon wrapped.
No, not as
That
great.
was
no.
good.
Okay.
It was good. It's good. I liked it. But yeah, so, and he's just standing there, and they bring the plates over, okay, and they have the sides on them, and they don't have anything else, so they bring them over to him, and they literally just hand it to him, he cuts off what it is, puts it back, hands it back to them, and then they run it out to the person at the table.
Okay.
It was interesting. I've never seen that before.
Seems like a lot of steps.
It is a lot of steps, and I can only
Just for
assume
that.
they don't do that all the time. It's only if there's group party things.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he's walking around the dining room
With the fucking
With the giant
lug.
wheeling it around.
Well, I don't care about that thing. I just can't imagine he'd be walking around with that big metal around his neck.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he does that all the time.
Okay, well,
Even when he's not.
Hold
at the
on.
restaurant.
Hold the fucking phone. I just had a brilliant fucking idea.
it's not gonna be brilliant, but go.
Okay, we should open up a restaurant that is military themed, alright? And the cooks come out dressed like fucking soldiers and they whip out the little propane tanks and they cook with that little fucking thing at your table. They set up a tent and everything. That is awesome.
That is the.
That is the dumbest idea
No, hold on.
I've
Hold
ever
on.
heard.
Hold on.
See if he can redeem himself.
It's gonna get better.
Oh, God.
Underneath your table are airsoft guns, and if you don't like the food, you could shoot his ass. Now that's American right there.
No. If you had said fluffers, would it underneath your table?
Oh, there's
I
that
would've been on
too.
board.
There's that too.
Now you're saying the fluffers are both loading my gun and then
And then discharging.
discharging my other gun.
Yes. Yes. That is what I'm saying.
Okay, then I like this restaurant.
Okay. Can I shoot the fluffers?
Whoa, if they
What
don't
if
do
I don't like their technique, or
Yeah,
they tug a little too hard? What if they get some of my curlies in there? Mm-mm.
curlies,
I feel like you should be able to
The
taste
short
them.
curlies.
curly fries.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that.
You can tase them. You get a
You
taser
can
too.
taste them?
You get a taser too.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's still the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, okay.
What if we open up a restaurant and the waiters came out and delivered to us MREs and we just ate those on the table?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
Not mine.
Mm.
You know, Dad would probably eat there every fucking day.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Be like, hey guys, let's get some MREs.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea because you would know how many calories you're taking in.
Right.
1,000.
That's true.
We should just warn all young people. If your dad ever tells you, hey, let's try a new place, fucking run. Because that means you're going to a cheap ass restaurant. And it's going to be shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's tired of going out and getting good food.
I'm tired of good food.
Reached his limit of good food. I'd like to see what bad food there is out
I
there.
just see what the peasants eat.
Well, that's sort of tangentially. That's going to be what this podcast is partially about. We're going to try all these different restaurants and let the people know whether they suck or whether they're worth their time.
Yeah.
Hey, I think Casaritas was worth my time.
Well,
I mean,
luckily there are 3 people in this podcast that can.
attest that
Yeah.
Casaritas is pretty good food.
It is good
There's only
food.
2 other people that can attest.
Yeah, they're.
I'm saying I'm glad that it's
People.
an odd amount of people because then our
Oh,
We
decision.
can't
yeah.
ever like split.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can come to an actual decision.
I don't know, I didn't like it. It was alright.
But we both did, so.
Yeah.
It
So.
was alright.
But here's the problem. It's like when people go to.
But I had like this like Neanderthalish woman looking at me. It was just fucking creepy.
I did not see
Who?
that, but I'll get to that.
What the fuck
We'll
was
get to that in a
that?
second. I
It was
was
seen
going to say.
behind her. It was I mean, seen
You want
behind
the
Blake.
girl?
Seen behind Blake. It was
Yeah,
like a lady, and she had like a
little girl.
fake ass like spray tan with like an '80s hairdo that was like bumped up at the
It's
front.
Frisco, dude.
Welcome to Frisco.
I mean,
Welcome to America.
And then there was the other guy in
Land of the brave, home of the free.
in like the corner booth that was just like all like looked like goddamn Trevishnu.
He had many arms? Is that traditional or is that?
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. That like wannabe rock star.
Oh, we just made some enemies. I was gonna say,
yes.
when you're reviewing a restaurant, the most important thing to remember is that if you order soup anywhere, then you have no input.
That's true. Because that really wasn't a meal.
It does
Well,
not matter where you
that
go.
was a
The
meal.
soup will never actually. A
God.
soup will never
I should have
encompass the
taken a
entire
picture.
quality
I
of the
should have
restaurant.
taken a picture of that fucking soup.
You
You
should
should.
have.
You
It
should have
was
put
like
it in
giant. It
Yelp.
was a fucking like fish bowl.
It wasn't quite that deep, but
It was
a
almost
little bit bigger
wide.
too.
It
was
bigger than
wide.
a fishbowl.
You could put a fish bowl in that soup.
With room to spare.
You could. You could.
With room for soup around.
You could.
Exactly. I agree with you. It was a very large... But I don't see that as a bad thing. Like, if I ordered, like, a cheeseburger, and they brought out a cheeseburger that was the size of the plate, I would not be like, God damn it, I fucking hate this place.
I'd be like, God damn it,
Like,
a ton of
Jesus,
food.
this is awesome.
No.
Like, I have a lot to eat.
That's different, because
That's different.
the burger is your main course. The soup and appetizers were in the same section.
But you ordered it as your meal.
Yeah, you ordered it as your thing.
No. They need to tell you how big the fucking bowl is.
You should have asked.
They need to be like, sir, because, like, look at me, I'm like a small guy. They should be like, sir, like, this is a pretty big bowl. Like, usually they do.
Yeah, but most Americans, especially Frisconians, would have fucking gotten up in his face and been like, don't tell me what is too big for me. I can handle it. You know how people are.
They should have told me.
You know how people
I
are.
don't care how people are. They should have told me. That was absurd.
I don't know.
I still don't understand why it's a bad thing.
I don't understand either. I just can't get it. Now, yes, if you had said to us that it was bad, that the soup was terrible, then yes, I would understand that's a valid
It wasn't
complaint.
great. I mean, it was alright.
Okay, but alright is...
So I
passable.
just had a giant alright bowl of soup.
There you go. That's
And
your
my
review.
experience was...
Which actually makes it a good bowl soup because it was so big.
Yeah.
No.
No, it means if you have a lot of something that's alright, then
It
it's
makes
good.
the experience that much more fucking, like, dreary, because now I had to eat this giant bowl of, like...
Number one, you didn't have to eat the whole fucking bowl if you didn't want
no, I have... I have to. Like,
No child left behind.
yeah. I'm sorry, I just...
Okay.
It's like one of my things, I had to finish my food.
Jeff, I live by this
This
creed.
wild standard.
This creed that I have to
to. I have to
finish my
eat
food.
everything that's put in front of me.
I do.
We're going to test that in future.
I feel bad.
Put Raphael's cock in front of you. I was like, well,
Well, I didn't order that, so...
I was like, oh, what the fuck? It's too big.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we just don't agree with you.
So Casaritas was good.
Casaritas is good. It's worth your time.
And it's
The
reasonably
portions are
priced.
huge.
The portions are humongous. And it's reasonably
It's
priced.
reasonably priced.
Especially for how big the portions are.
Exactly.
My god, what a...
I just don't.
I don't get it.
Fucking diva, dude. I don't understand.
My damn soda was almost as much as the fucking soup.
I know.
Soda was $3.
As it is in most restaurants.
Yeah.
$2.49 before
Oh,
tax.
Lord.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
would have rather gotten a big
and we
bowl of
get
Dr.
our-
Pepper than the goddamn...
we get our money's worth out of their sodas usually.
Oh, I know we do.
Yeah. I actually
You
get
totally
mad.
got-
Like when I'm gonna air her out right now. I can get mad at Take Care when we go to places that they have like the fountain or like places you can get refills. So mostly everywhere, fast food
Yeah.
places, whatever. You can get refills on sodas.
Oh.
And
see
she
where
gets
this is
one
going.
soda and like never gets a refill. Just like throws it away. And I'm like, you realize you just paid like almost $3 for that soda?
But then she'll go to a restaurant where you have to pay for each individual drink and she'll get like 5.
We have not encountered that yet, but I would be upset if that happened.
I haven't encountered that. My wife does that.
Orders like multiple alcoholic drinks.
Yeah, she'll order like 3 glasses of wine and like a drink.
That
It's
is
just
fucking absurd.
not always. That's usually if it's a long
Alright,
meal.
now that's absurd.
That
Oh,
is absurd.
yeah. At Lowry's, she ordered 2 glasses of wine. And it was $24 for those 2 glasses of wine.
Oh,
Just so you know.
But you didn't pay for it.
Nah, I didn't, oh, no, we did. It was a cash bar. We had to pay.
Oh,
for
you
the
had to pay for the drinks.
Oh,
Fuck that, man.
okay.
Yeah. I don't care, but
Yeah,
What'd you order?
do.
I had Coke.
Like a
You
bitch.
care.
I don't drink anything else, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have had tea, I guess, but fuck
Well,
that.
nah.
Oh, come
You
Fuck
want-
that, dude.
You want everyone there thinking you're a
Yeah,
pussy
come
now.
on, man.
Exactly.
Just get back on the tap. Come on.
Yeah. Speaking of getting back on the tap, apparently my parents are into, into drugs. It's legal now. Broadcasting live from Colorado.
We're
parent-
in Frisco, Colorado.
My parents bought a dime bag of cocaine last night. Is that the legal one?
No, not crack. That's what's legal.
Crack is what they got.
I think heroin will
Crack
be legal
pipe.
pretty soon.
Yeah. When do we stop, people? When do we stop?
Never. We don't stop until everyone can do whatever the fuck they want anytime they want.
That sounds like a terrible world to live in.
It is. It's anarchy.
Yeah.
But
you call anarchy. I'm stupid. Listen to Green Day, dude.
I think I would prefer an anarchic world to the one we have now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think I could thrive.
But we can thrive because we all have samurai swords.
And it's true. That is true. But
yeah. I don't know, man.
Like I said, we talked about it before. I'm hoping for the apocalypse at some point soon. Because we will survive.
We will survive. That's I will survive.
I will survive, but we will survive, so that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, so what kind of topical news are we going to talk about today, then?
They picked a director for Star Wars, didn't they?
Not yet.
Oh, I thought they did. I thought Matthew Vaughn was...
No, he has not officially signed yet.
Okay.
It's the rumor, though, is that he was doing that, and that's why he stepped away from
Kick-Ass. Or I mean, like X-Men? Yeah.
But that's why. Then that would be the only real reason he would step away, is because he has a chance to do Star Wars. But nobody's signed on any dotted lines yet.
Anyone signed on any solid lines?
No.
Okay.
Nobody's signed on any lines anywhere.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think he would be an interesting choice. I think he could probably do it.
I still want J.J. Abrams to do it.
Yeah,
just for the lens flares.
It's not gonna happen.
Just
guys.
for the lens flares.
It's just not gonna happen.
God, could you imagine how many lens flares there'd be in that movie?
Yeah, I know. But
too many to count.
It would be
way too many to count. Every time a lightsaber comes out, the lens flare.
It'd probably be like a Guinness World Record.
Probably.
It would be
the worst Star Wars movie ever made.
It would be like a marvel of processing power. Probably take like 5 years to render all those lens flares.
That's fine, as long as these movies are coming out anytime soon anyways.
Exactly. I can't remember what we talked about last time, though, because we talked about Michael Arndt is doing the writing. Did we talk about they're having Lawrence Kasdan come back and do more?
I don't know who that is.
Lawrence Kasdan wrote Empire Strikes Back, and he co-wrote Return of the Jedi, and he wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
And so, since most people consider Empire the best one of those movies, people are pretty excited about him coming back, because they've said that he's coming to write more Star Wars stuff. But I don't think he's doing this next trilogy. I think Michael Arndt is doing that. I think he's coming back. They're doing that trilogy, and they're also going to work on other Star Wars movies that don't focus on the Skywalkers, and that's what he's going to work on. Because, I mean, at this point, they're going to milk the fuck out of this. They're going to put out as many as they possibly can. And they want to expand the universe, so...
Like it's not already expansive enough.
Weren't you saying the other day that Princess Leia now is part of the Disney princesses?
Yep.
Well, she would be, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I thought about that. I was like, oh man, like now you will probably never see Princess Leia like in any like kind of skimpy outfit. She'll probably always be in that white cloak because it's Disney now.
Probably,
it's very like
yeah.
kid oriented.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, that would only be for like their juvie stuff, like the juvie section of Disney stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they still make like pirates and
yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I guess if they get like another toy manufacturer besides themselves,
they won't. But I mean, they just market it to a more mature audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Oof, man, what if there's like no blood in... I guess there was no blood in the other
no
ones.
blood in any of the Star Wars movies, really.
Oh, no wonder they're so bad.
But the only real is when Obi-Wan cuts off the arm of the guy in Mos Eisley, and you see a little bit of the blood next to it. Yeah. Like, that's about it. Which makes no sense anyway, because a lightsaber would cut through you and then cauterize the wounds.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. It's like
these movies have
like
so many plot holes.
It's like Sleepy Hollow. Remember? You guys head cut off, but like cauterized blood.
Yeah, that's a good reference, man. Thank you for
I'm just saying.
piecing those
happened.
two movies together. Sleepy Hollow and Star Wars.
Okay, well then let's talk about
Sleepy Hollow for a bit.
No, let's talk about something relevant.
That is
Okay.
like, that's
Let's talk about the Star Trek trailer. Thoughts?
My boner got big
Did it?
when I saw it. Yeah,
Okay.
I like Star Trek. I don't like
The
Star
only
Trek.
thing that I'm
I don't like Star Trek, the TV show.
I fucking hate Star Trek, but I like Star Trek.
Honestly, I've never liked Star Trek, never liked anything in it. Barely watched, like, I remember seeing 1 or 2 episodes maybe on TV of one of the series.
Yeah.
I was like, this is stupid. Always liked Star Wars more. Then J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movie came out, and I liked that more than any of the Star Wars films I've seen.
I agree with that. You know, I mean, I was never a big fan of the original Star Trek series. My dad loves it, but I could never get into it.
Yeah, even trying to go
But
back.
when I was a teenager, like 12, 13, when Star Trek The Next Generation came on, I watched it. We watched it like every Saturday. And,
Okay.
I don't know, dude.
For 15 years.
No, just for a few years. I never watched the whole thing. I watched like 2 or 3 years of it, like right at the beginning. But I really watched it like out of habit more than anything else, just because that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We cooked burgers out and sat down as a family and watched Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Damn, man, those
I was
times,
like,
those
what the
times are
fuck?
gone.
Those
times are definitely gone.
See, that's what I actually missed that. I missed that, like,
Dude, I remember like every time we got home from school, it was like fucking Toonami time,
Toonami time
like
and then
Sailor Moon, like
Rurouni Kenshin.
Ronin Warriors. And I
Yeah.
think they had Rurouni Kenshin on there for a little bit.
Beetleborgs. Reboot.
Holy shit, reboot.
Shit. Reboot was the shit.
And then there was Dragon Ball Z, like the main, like fucking
That was the main course. Like,
main course.
the creme de la creme, if you will.
And then there was just kind of like relaxed time with some Animaniacs and Freakazoid and
And then as we got older, we went to Friends and Everybody Loves Raymond and Will and Grace. Frasier.
Yeah, when I was in high school,
The
like,
WB
I
lineup.
came home every day and I watched Saved by the Bell. Like the original Saved by the Bell.
I'm sorry.
I used to come home every day and watch Caitlin's Way with the fucking horse.
I don't even know what that is.
That was the best show.
Yeah, what was that one show with the Olsen twins? Remember when they were like really young?
Oh,
It was like an
the
actual
Olsen
TV
twins.
series. It was an actual TV series.
Mary-Kate and
Mary-Kate
Ashley?
and Ashley.
Was it just called Mary Kate and Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. That would be like something
I
different.
was like, oh, I was too busy beating off to remember the title.
Yeah, I used to beat off to them when they were on Full House all the time.
God,
Back when I only thought it was one of them. Oh.
that's disgusting.
It is, yeah. I know. I'm glad you realized that's disgusting, Matt.
That's
Because I was a
like,
little worried.
so gross. His boner's like...
I'm like the same age as him. Like,
Now?
Yeah, I know that.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying.
But you
so
can still go back and watch them in Full House. Watch the reruns and beat it to the Full House version of them.
Wouldn't that be weird?
Why would that be weird?
Because like, you mean why would it be weird? Because
I'm making sure that you can...
We just want to
I
know
just
why,
wanna make sure.
why it's weird.
because they're fucking like young.
Hmm.
Way,
Okay.
way,
So
way,
okay,
way,
so
way
then that
too-
begs the question:
It's
where
disgusting.
is the line, Matt?
There's
What
a
is
line.
the age?
Honestly.
The honest
Honestly?
age?
Mike's off.
That you can beat off to somebody?
Yes, let's go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with
Yeah.
that.
We've turned the mics off. Recording's done.
I'm just gonna say 18, just to be safe.
Past history doesn't seem to
Yeah.
correlate.
And the part where he said just to be safe, I don't like the way.
Yeah, I don't like the way that doesn't sound honest to me. That sounds like you're telling us what you think we want to hear.
Well, using some algebra that I've learned this semester, 18 plus 1, was it 12?
12.
Is a good age.
I'm just saying, the way that girls dress nowadays. Okay.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay. You know, there's some
There's some hot.
hot 12-year-olds.
Girls.
Couldn't even say it.
I'll say it. There are some hot 12-year-olds.
No,
Got it all out. I got it all out.
There's not.
Both holes.
There's not. But there are some hot 13-year-old girls.
Yeah, there are.
I don't know, man. It's just...
You know what actually kind of bugs me? Every morning when I go to my job, which I actually had to bleep out
Yeah, he did.
Last time I bleeped it. I actually put bleeps.
Why?
Because you said it.
Because you said it twice.
Don't say it.
So I actually put real like little bleeps in there. Okay, so, but when I'm walking there in the morning, I walk past the ice rink, and it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, and there's like all these little girls dancing around on the ice, doing their little thing, and they just have like the sluttiest little outfits on.
I know.
And it's creepy because I assume it's their dads that drop them off, but there are these men in like little minivans outside just looking in. And the girls get in the cars.
Yeah, it's probably their dads then.
We don't know. I mean, I could just pull a car out.
I've never seen the same girl twice, so.
They all look the same. They all look like little slutty tweens, so yeah.
I don't know. I will say that there were times, especially working in the mall, that there would be girls that would either walk by or come in that from a distance do look hot and of age, but as they get closer, you can just, every step they take, their age goes down a little bit, a little bit, until they're standing in front of you and you're like, God damn, you're 10 years old. You're the right height.
They get closer and closer and you start seeing the outline of the stroller and you're like, oh, gross. The mother is ugly.
Well, it's the same way. It's the same thing that happens sometimes with a lot of these Frisco moms that from really far away look hot, and as they step closer, they're getting older and older. So they're like, oh my God, you're the right height.
I'm just picturing like death holding their hand, walking with them for each step. They're just dying a little bit more and more. By the time they get in front of you, they're just a big sack of bones.
Oh man, yeah. This kid that my brother and I used to hang out with when we were in high school. He had a younger sister.
Did you fuck her?
No, I made out with her, but
does he know?
Yeah.
He watched.
No.
Hey, dude, make out with sister would be really cool.
Yeah, so he's just like, whatever, man. Do whatever you want.
Nah, he didn't care. But she was a skater. Like, she went there like 5 o'clock in the morning every day. Like her parents were training
ice
her.
skating.
Yes.
Okay.
We're training her for competitive skating. I was like, whatever, figure skating.
Yeah, whatever. It was fucking bullshit.
But I can tell you, one of the only reasons I was ever attracted to her was because she looked hot as hell in her outfit. Otherwise, I really didn't like her very much.
She had a terrible personality.
She did. I did not like her very much.
All figure skaters have terrible personalities.
But when she was wearing... That was when we made out, too. It was like she was there skating, and we went up there, because it was like a skating rink, and a bowling alley, like, together.
Okay. That's a cool sport. Oh, wow. They're skating around, you get to bowl.
Bowl skating?
Yeah, they're like on the lanes, trying to knock them down.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be exciting.
When you knock them down, you get to take them for the night.
That's right. But, no, anyway, I was, like...
Imagine somebody drooling in a coma. How much sexy talk is going on.
But we walked up there to, like, hang out at the bowling alley and play pool and stuff, and somebody said she was over at the rink, and so I went over, and the way they had it done was the rink was kind of lower, and you could watch from up high.
Okay, so the creepy,
pretty much.
Vulture.
So, because they had like the upper level,
scoping out his prey. Like,
the upper level was all the video games and the pool tables.
Yeah.
And then downstairs was the bowling alley on this side and the skating rink over here. And where the pool tables were, there was just glass, and you could look down on the skating rink. So I know. I was like, "What the fuck? Who designed this place?"
The executives of Rollerball.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Stood in their little castle.
Yeah, that was cool. But so I went and I looked, and I was looking at her on the ice, and at that point I was like, and that was the first time I was like, "Huh, yeah, Amy." And so I went downstairs and I was talking to her because she was done, and We just started making out. Like, on the ramp to walk up, to go up to the upper level. We're just, like, standing on the ramp. She's still in her skates. And we made out.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then I never talked to her again.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't want to date her.
You just wanted to.
And she was a little too young to, like, actually fuck. So.
Well, you put it so elegantly like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's how the women like it. But, yeah. Yeah, I mean, she was only 14.
How old are you?
16?
What's the problem?
It's not a problem other than, just a little too young.
You were 16.
I know, but just a little too young.
I don't know.
Like, yeah, now I would have no problem fucking a 14-year-old. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm not Matt. I know, that's because they won't fuck you.
You're telling me if a super hot-ass 14-year-old came up to you and just grabbed your cock, and what would you do?
You would say, unhand me, young lady!
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Just like that.
Just like that. Slap it away!
Yes.
I call you a liar.
Yeah.
No, I would. That's just creepy.
What if you didn't know she was 14? What if she looked like she was 18?
What if she looked like she was 18?
There's a lot of them that you can't really tell.
What if she showed you her license and it said she was 18?
Then there wouldn't be a problem.
Right? And she actually turned out to be 14.
I mean, that's not my problem,
Statutory,
then.
buddy. Oh, yeah, it is your problem.
The question is, would you... I guess the question is, can you feel the age, like, when you're doing it?
When you put it in...
When you put it in...
It has in my... Okay, if she shows me a license that says she's 18...
we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that right now. No. If you're fucking...
Although we will if you want to, because it is actually still your responsibility.
How?
Yeah.
There's no way to prove
legally, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
If you place your penis...
That's some entrapment shit.
It is.
Hold on, man. If you place your penis in this 14-year-old's vagina... Would you get like the spidey sense? Would something happen? You'd be like, oh shit, this person feels underage, or would you just be like, like going at it?
I think you would be able to tell like before you even got there.
I don't think so, dude.
No, that's not the point I'm trying to make is if you didn't,
to them talk,
if you can't tell
have a conversation,
that they're underage,
you can tell. You can tell. I'm just saying, you can tell.
I don't know.
The way they like have conversations with people.
What if you never heard them speak? What if they never spoke?
What if you're in a club?
What if their
music was so loud,
body
nobody
language
could hear anything?
Yeah.
Body language.
What if they had no body? What if you were just...
What if they were just a head?
A head and a vagina.
Perfect woman.
There's just a head, some tits, and a vagina, and they're all strung together with string.
String, exactly.
And what if... Oh, God.
Yeah, this is how our conversations devolve.
God, you're gonna get fucking
This is where they end
arrested.
up.
Man, if we don't get arrested, we're not doing something right.
How are we going to get arrested? I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
Did you do something?
No,
that
I
you
didn't.
were something arrested for?
Did you want to come clean?
So
Did you talk to a 14-year-old girl and
No,
not
I didn't know any
realize?
14-year-old.
I don't like that. I don't like that entrapment shit.
No, I don't like it either. I don't agree with it. If they, if you make every effort to ascertain exactly how old they are and they lie to you the entire way, that should not be your fault.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying I don't like when they, if someone's offering me sex and they keep like, if I'm like, hey, you want to do it? And they're like, oh, I'm only 14. And they go, I don't care, you still want to do it? And they say yes. Not my problem. Because that kid should know.
No, that is your problem, unfortunately.
No, that little child should know whether she wants to fuck me or not.
Weren't they trying to sue the Catch a Predator people?
Probably.
I forget what state it was because it had something to do with like
Alabama.
entrapment or something.
Yeah, well, it is entrapment, technically.
It is.
Yeah. Because he hadn't
Because the point is you haven't done anything.
Actually done it.
Yeah, you haven't. Yeah, you actually haven't done anything. You just talked about doing something which really isn't illegal.
Right. Otherwise, yes, we would be arrested for this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it's not illegal to do that. And all they did was talk to him about sexual activities, drove to their house 5 miles with a big bag of condoms. Now, that doesn't... I mean, sure, it's intent, is what they like saying.
Yeah, I think that's what they get him on. It's like
they get him on intent to fuck a little girl. But really, I mean, like, what if those condoms were just left over from an overage girl he was fucking?
What if he was just making water balloons?
What is it? Yeah.
That's what I would have said every time.
I was making water balloons.
Water balloons. I make balloon animals in my spare time.
Yeah,
and I would learn how to.
You would learn how to do. There you go. So you could make one
like
boom. See, like that's just what I do.
So look, I made a giant cock for.
I made a cock fucking a really tight vagina. That's what I did. No, and then you just tell the cop, like, and they'd ask, "Why'd you drive like 5 miles out here to make her a balloon animal?"
Yeah.
So I take my job really seriously. She seemed that she wanted a balloon animal.
Yeah, look, there is a competitive industry. There's a lot of people that'll drive over for a 14-year-old girl.
It's like clowns drive to birthday parties.
There you go, see?
Exactly.
You telling me a clown wouldn't drive 5 miles or 5 hours to get to a birthday party?
He's a clown. He's crazy.
Those little tiny cars, the gas mileage.
You're wasting time on me, okay? You need to be rounding up the clowns. They're probably all in the same car. Go find them.
Your job's halfway done.
Pull them over.
Readjust. So what else has been going on in the world? Nothing really. We never really talked about the Star Trek thing.
Yeah, I know. You just said your nerd boner was like a...
And then how did we... It don't matter.
I have no idea what we got.
Boners. It's just, that's just the way it goes. No, I think it looks good.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll watch it, obviously.
Okay.
I liked
I don't like this again.
My only concern was there didn't seem to be a lot of Star Trekking going on in this. It seemed to revolve entirely on Earth.
Planet trekking.
It's like, let's call it Planet Trek.
Earth Trek.
Earth Trek.
Into darkness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Earth 2.
Another Earth.
Exactly. Here it is. I don't know.
I think it looks good, and I think the 60-second teaser that we saw doesn't...
No, I mean, clearly they're going to show us everything about the movie in 60 seconds.
Well, what I'm saying is that they actually might trek some stars in the movie.
I don't know about that. I didn't see any trekking in stars.
Well, I can make the same argument. When I watched Star Wars, I never saw two stars having a war with each other.
If you pause it...
I never saw that once. I never saw a war between two stars.
No, there are no wars between two stars.
But that shit happens in real life.
Yeah. I mean, they pull out the nuclear devices quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And go at it.
Mm-hmm. That's how black holes are made.
Yes. It is.
Speaking of black holes.
We can't talk about Raphael anymore.
We have to bleep out all of the stuff we say about Raphael.
Why?
God.
No,
that's boyfriend.
Yeah, that's why we can say that. It's
okay.
not just some random dude. You know? Like, okay, we can move it to talking about James if you want.
Well, that's my boyfriend. We won't go there.
Oh, yeah.
What else has happened?
What is James doing anyways?
Yeah, what is James doing?
No.
And are we going to get him? Is he coming back for the holidays? Can we get him on the podcast while he's here?
Possibly, but all he's been doing is like putting quotes on Facebook.
Yeah, so
I don't get like what,
I don't know.
I don't know what's up with that. Why do people do that?
He's in college. He thinks he's smart.
Yeah, that'll die off after the first couple semesters.
Sure. Okay. What else?
Wasn't there something I said I was going to talk about? And then
Yeah,
never
you
got to?
did. Sitting at the restaurant, you said there's something else we're going to talk about on the podcast, but you never mentioned what it was.
Shit, now I forgot. We went to Grand Lex Cafe. I think that's what I was going to say I didn't like.
Yeah, you saw.
I was going to bitch about that.
Okay.
All I was going to bitch about is that I ordered a club sandwich, which was like fucking $17 for a club sandwich, and it didn't have ham on it. So it was just a turkey sandwich.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Turkey bacon, arugula.
Yeah.
I was fucking pissed. And it was like on like rye sourdough something ciabatta bread. Like it was just like the
I hate
goofiest.
it when people...
Why do you have to make it so fancy?
I know, exactly. Like they just want to make
leave
it
it alone.
different.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, there's a reason this is a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Serve it as such. Create your own and pitch it as your own original creation.
You can have the Grand Lux Club, but then have the Classic Club as well.
Exactly. I agree with that.
It was like a fucking Main Street burger.
Yeah.
It's like their
burger places are the worst.
Their hamburgers were like, I don't know, like very like California like style, you know, all the weird avocado and like all that crazy shit. I'm just like, oh, I'm like, do the people that if you're gonna open up a burger joint like right next to like a small city square, I'm like, do you think those types of people want that kind of like food? No, they want like just something, you know. They just want a fucking hamburger,
stuff their fat holes with
like
fucking
melted
burger.
cheese and like and ketchup and whatever condiments.
Yes,
I hate that shit.
They try too hard.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't have business though.
Fucking cheeseburger with like use melted goat cheese, arugula leaves, and bean sprouts, and like the goofiest shit on there. Oh, and like top of it all is a wheat bun that's been dipped in like some other healthy shit. Water.
Like a mayonnaise aioli on it or something.
Yeah, like
Fuck.
special like olive oil mayonnaise blend, and I'm like why? I don't want that shit.
Oh.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Olive oil
shit,
mayonnaise
like,
is a real
it is.
thing. It comes in a jar.
They came out with that.
That's fucking disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Have you actually tried it?
No.
So
But I don't like mayo.
Yeah.
Do
I like Miracle Whip.
Ugh.
Sound like
But I only eat it on one thing, just a cheese sandwich. That's the only time I ever eat it.
What? Are you talking like grilled cheese or just like
No, like cheese.
just a cold slap of cheese with mayo and bread?
I get those like Colby blocks.
Jeff.
And I just do bread with Miracle Whip on it and put the cheese on it. It's good. It is good. It's good.
No.
I used to eat. This is what I used to eat my cheese sandwiches were. They used to be.
I don't care what they used to be. They're
No,
a terrible
listen,
idea.
listen. They used to be 2 pieces of bread,
Yeah.
sliced up Velveeta, like the blocks,
fuck,
like big ass thick slices, and then on one side I put that, and on the other side I put peanut butter, and I put them together.
Oh my god!
What the fuck is wrong with
Why?
you?
I tried it one time, and I liked it. It was when I was a little kid. I was like 9.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time they let me make my own sandwich, because they used to make them for me, obviously. And I was
They?
my parents and my grandmother, because we were spending the summer at my grandparents that summer, and she used to make the cheese sandwiches for me, and she would make me like pimento cheese sandwiches and stuff like that, and then she would eat the ones I liked, which was just Velveeta cheese.
I've never
on
heard
bread.
of just a cheese sandwich besides like
It's
grilled
pretty
cheese.
good. I'm telling you, it's good.
That's like something Paco would make just because he's lazy.
Let's not even get on the subject of Paco right now. I'm getting like irritated with that like shithead. Don't get so pissed off. Like, we never have food in this house because
You talking about I cooked dinner for you last night.
I was taking a test.
In a little bitch mood, and
I thought the test was going to be
to
shorter.
Eat.
Oh, the test was going to be shorter. And it was not. They tricked me. It said 29 questions. I did not realize that each question had 10 questions in it.
So 290 questions.
Yeah.
And I had an hour.
I did an hour and a half to take it.
Jesus.
And I almost used that entire hour and a half. It's like fucking A, man. I hate school. God, I hate school.
It's like if you actually learn things in school, like I wouldn't mind, but like you don't learn anything practical.
Yeah.
Like if you want like I'll explain, like I can find like interest in like certain subjects, like it's like I like the sciences and like that's like cool enough, but like if that's not what you're going into, like I don't feel like I need to take like 3 science classes.
Mm-hmm.
Or even 2 science classes, or even 1 science class if you're in college. I think college you should just go and do what you're majoring in.
Mm-hmm. Other countries do it.
I'm like, you already have a general idea. That's what the fuck high school is for. So like, I know what an atom is. I know how evolution works to an extent. If I want to research it more, I can read something.
Well, yeah, that's my whole thing too.
And
Is
the thing is, like, the internet now is like so expansive, and you got fucking Google and YouTube, and you can do anything on there. If you don't know how to do something, you just Google it or YouTube it, and they'll have a video on how to do something.
Yeah, and like people are like, well, you can't trust the internet, and it's like, I understand you can't trust everything you like read, but when I watch a YouTube video on how to jumpstart a car and it worked, you can't sit there and be like, well,
yeah,
you know, like it's the same thing with like algebra. You can learn algebra on YouTube. People are like, well, and I'm like, no, like I learned it and it worked, and I applied it to my test and I got 100 on it. Like, the fuck you? What's wrong with YouTube?
I can't stand people nowadays who are still like when you like cite something like from like Wikipedia.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, wow, why don't you cite something better than Wikipedia? And I'm like, well, Wikipedia, like, yeah, you can like post stuff, but they have people that run through that shit and make sure it's like accurate before they even like post it.
Not to mention, if you just scroll your little finger down to the bottom, you can go see the links where they have the information, where they got it from.
Citations, yeah.
And like, and if you really wanted to like be like, well, here, and just click on it and be like, there's the information.
Yeah.
That's all Wikipedia is a copy and paste from this other site. You're just pissed off because I didn't spend fucking hours like researching this stupid paper. It's the only reason teachers get upset about that.
Well, Wikipedia used to be you could just post stuff and it was up to the users to like correct it, but then it just got fucking out of hand.
Yeah, people making Wikipedia pages for themselves and stuff.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
And they were just posting stuff, and it became like, you know, slander and libel, and they're just like, all right, well, we gotta take control of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a reliable source for information.
I've used Wikipedia to study for a lot of like history tests and stuff, and if it wasn't for Wikipedia, I would have gotten a much worse grade. Just like I don't get how you can look something up and find it on Wikipedia, like when the Constitution was written, and have it be like a wrong date. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I just don't get it.
Yeah, no. That's the thing. It's not really about that. It really is more like you said. It's that they feel like that's a shortcut, and that you didn't actually put any effort into it.
So?
I understand, but it'll take another generation or so before it'll start to filter out of that mentality.
Yeah.
To the point that
all it is it's old mentality of like the teachers are looking at it like, well, when I was in school I didn't get to do that, so like you should not be able to do that as well. Right. Like you should learn the way I learned it, and it's like, well, you know, give it the time.
It's kind of the same way. It's just a faster method.
Yeah, it's like I'm sorry that like our generation has created a faster way of getting information.
It's still like articles and you know like books of information. They're just now online, and I can search through it a lot faster.
Yeah.
Instead of having to read the entire fucking thing, I could just be like, hey, like you know, look up a person.
Just like when they take you to the library and they show you how to use. Remember, like in high school, they showed you how to use books.
Databases.
No, not even the databases. They showed you how to use how to find the books using the Dewey Decimal System of the library's book shelving, whatever. When you find it here, here's where the publication date is and all that stuff, and you're just like, why would I use a book ever?
I never use. I
never use books.
I never.
I always use the database. Because you're forced to use the database. I use the databases.
Well, I don't like. The library system is so fucking disorganized. I'm sorry. But you should just have history all in one section, the arts in one section.
They should be modeled after a regular bookstore.
And I don't
be easier to find shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just have all the nonfiction and nonfiction, fiction. You know, then you have your history, your religions, your philosophies, and then. If I were in charge of the library, 90% of it would probably be manga and science graphic novels. Science fiction novels and Marvel comics.
That's not bad, dude. Show them a manga library.
You know what they should do? They should redo all those library books in manga style. All the history books. They should just draw them out for you.
I thought you said we should convert classics into manga, and I was like, they're already doing that.
No, I'm saying they should convert the history books into manga. So it's if you
they
have
are.
It's like
they're actually doing that. Like
if you have to learn about like Benjamin Franklin or something, pick up volume 1 of a manga and you like
no,
learn about him.
they're actually doing that. Like there was like history. It's kind of like history for dummies, or it's like something for dummies, and it's like manga style. And I was like, wait, what is this? And I like flipped through it, and I was like, oh my god, it's a manga that like actually teaches you something.
That's awesome.
Only thing I didn't like was that it read from left to right. I didn't like that. So I was like,
no,
this is a manga,
right
people.
To left.
Yeah,
Right to left.
let's flip that.
Yeah, but that's because the people that it's targeting have never really.
Read
It's not hard to read a manga.
It's targeting people who read manga,
I guess.
who should read right to left.
I guess.
I don't get why people are like, this is so difficult. It's just backwards. Like,
Yeah.
are you really gonna go to France and crash your car? Like, you're not gonna be able to like figure it out? Oh yeah, actually, yeah, people will.
People do.
Yeah,
That happens.
Dad almost did that.
Dad, yeah. But he was in that. He was caught in that fucking that loop,
Circle.
that circle. Yeah.
The
He said he was about to
what's it
just
called?
like
Turnabout.
Yeah, turnabout, yeah.
Turnabout.
He said he was about to just fucking park the car there and just leave it, and have somebody pick it up. I'm like, dude, you just have to be aggressive. I'm like, that's Dad. Well, that's Dad's problem. He doesn't like pre-plan. Like he doesn't plan ahead.
Yeah, which is
So-
funny because he's always telling us about planning ahead.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, why don't you get into the lane you're gonna be turning in, instead of like waiting till the last fucking minute and then being like all pissed off. I'm like, so when you got into that turnabout, you should have just been in the outer lane so you can turn out, not inside the fucking middle, going around that fucking fountain.
But even then,
But he was probably like, oh, let's get a picture of it. I want to see it.
yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, I'm like, if you can't see that fucking fountain,
And then he realized a minute into this circling, my God, I can't get out of
I'm
here.
never gonna get out of here.
But my whole thing is like, if you're stuck in a circle
be
forever,
there all day.
eventually you got to have the time to get out, right? So like, what is he really panicking about?
So.
Just wait until it's like dark. Just drive around for a few hours until traffic dies down. And
Oh man, I wonder if
get out.
anybody's just run out of gas in that turnabout.
Probably,
Probably, but that would be really stupid. They really would.
yeah.
They'd probably be Americans.
I imagine there's a gas station. There's a gas station
And
inside
see
that
what I would
fountain.
do, okay?
I don't think
circle,
French-
right?
Yeah,
Okay. And what's the quickest way to get out of a circle?
straight line.
It's not to do a spiral. It's to just go.
Yeah,
So that's what I would do. I would just go. And just go.
it'd be like
It's the
fucking.
shortest distance out of the circle.
Yeah,
What I don't get is why they just didn't make the road go around the fountain instead of like a turnabout, just fucking split. The
Matt,
two roads.
these are the French we're talking about here. There's a lot of why didn't theys that we could get
They're
into.
just American
Like,
assholes.
we can't get into city planning with you. The infrastructure is too big.
But yeah, the internet.
Speaking of dirty, filthy people. When I was working, this is pissing me off. This is a story I wanted to tell. But okay, so I work in the receiving department of a store, and we get shipments in. That's what receivers do.
Right.
We normally get our shipment delivered by this guy named Max, but this day we got it delivered by Mark, who is Indian, I guess. Whatever. We're from one of those places, and like it has nothing to do with his nationality, anyways. It doesn't. I'm not gonna be racist here, but he showed up late, like really late, and like I get out at 3:30. He gets there like at like fucking almost noon. So I'm like, we don't have time to do all these like boxes, and of course it's like 200 something boxes, so it's like 6 pallets of just fucking boxes, and he's taking forever. On top of all of that, he smelled like fucking like just like not even shit. He smelled like the best way I can describe it was like, you know that real like sweaty smell, that like just disgusting sweaty smell.
Yeah.
He smelled like that mixed in with a little bit of blood because it had that like metallic, like that sick,
Coppery kind of.
that sick metallic like coppery like smell.
Mm.
And like the part that pissed me off the most is that, like the pallets are like big stacks on these like on a pallet whatever, and it's like all wrapped up in saran wrap. Those are the normal pallets. After he got those done, the last thing he brought in was like this little cart of like boxes that he could not fit on those bigger pallets just because like they were already too high.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm not gonna waste a full pallet for these like few boxes. So he carts those in, but he sweated all over them. So the boxes were actually wet and they stunk like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they were boxes that like we didn't have to get to immediately, so they got put into the corner. But then like the whole room just smelled like the entire time we were working on stuff.
Ugh.
So we had the doors, like the double doors open to like the receiving dock, and out there is like this big dumpster, like a big smelly ass dumpster. We could not smell the dumpster until like 3 hours after, like we had like started working and stuff. Like when the box, like we were going through all the boxes, everything. Then all of a sudden I was like, dude, I can smell the dumpster, and we were so excited that we could smell like actual like liquid garbage rather than like his nasty smell.
That's disgusting.
It just made me fucking angry because I don't know. Just his cockiness of like the way he was like walking around like nothing was going on, and then he's chewing gum like I hope I don't have bad breath.
Who is this?
The delivery dude.
That's fucking disgusting.
That's what made me. I think that's what made me the most mad. He was chewing gum like don't want to have bad breath in case like I don't want stinky breath.
You haven't showered in like a week.
Yeah, fucking gross. And he's taking forever. And then I don't know. It's just stupid. He's a stupid dude. He didn't know how to do his job either, and like the PDTs, the little scanning devices that they use. Our regular driver has like a new one that's like all like high tech and shit, and like just it scans the barcode without you even like pointing at the barcode. It's just like I got it. His is like the old kind, so I was like, obviously like the people like your managers don't like you very much because you got the shit one.
They hold I'm sweating all over the new ones.
Probably.
Probably had one. Probably shorted out.
Yeah. All those things sweat. That's one of the things. Like if you're gonna sweat so much, like maybe you should find a different job.
Yeah.
You should work at a sweat lodge. You feel right at home.
A sweatshop.
Yeah.
In the name.
That's where they need to be, anyways. Making my toys.
With lead.
Yeah. I don't care what's in the paint. Whatever they want. I don't eat that shit.
Yeah, I don't lick my toys. I don't care.
No. I didn't understand why parents were getting all upset about that stuff.
Because little kids do put their shit in their mouth.
Teach your kid not to put stuff in his mouth.
I agree.
Trust me, it'll be something that he'll be thankful for.
Most American parents don't subscribe to the philosophy of
taking care of your kids.
I actually have to take care and lead by example for my children.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather let society raise my children.
I'm actually scared to see what's gonna happen with these kids, this generation of kids. Because like to your point, like I've yet to see like an actual like I've seen parents that I'm like okay, like they're not doing a bad job, like whatever, they're okay parents, but I haven't seen any like shining examples of like being a parent.
Yeah.
It's either been like really piss poor or just like kind of like okay, you're not as bad as the other person was.
See, I think our generation will probably be hopefully better parents.
Possibly.
Because like our generation like bitches and complains a lot that like other people don't do other things right.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to.
It seems like a lot of like the I don't know, like 30-year-olds are like
they're just so like they're so party people.
I think it might just be where we live too. I'm not sure. But yeah, around here everybody's just like fucking party people and they go out to the bars and everything. I'm like, don't you have like kids or anything?
Yeah, I mean that's the main problem that I see because that's my generation. It's my friends that all have these kids that are getting raised like this, and most of them, and Leanne did this before I got together with her. She would leave London with her parents and she'd go party every night. She'd go out to bars, she'd go down to Deep Ellum every night, and she's out until 3-4 in the morning. And that's just the problem. Number one, our generation, they get married way too soon, way too young. And that's why you're going to see divorces skyrocket even more. I already know people that have been divorced twice that are my age. Yeah, and that's ridiculous.
That's like my generation too.
Yeah,
people get married at like 20, 21. I'm like, that is way too young.
Oh, it's getting worse.
They're like, oh, Matt, you're just cynical. I'm like, no. I'm like, that is way too young.
Way
like
too young.
Your critical thinking skills have not like developed like at all.
I mean,
you don't stop growing until like you're 25.
Yeah, and even then, it doesn't really stop.
Yeah,
like,
no,
even
really
then,
doesn't.
you're still kind of like learning.
But here's the other problem: it's not even just that they get married young, because they do. It's also that they get married too fast.
Yeah.
They know these people for 6 months, not even a year, and get married.
See, I would have to know somebody for like years before I got.
You really do. That's really the only way to know if you're actually compatible.
You got to know for years, and you got to live with them for a couple of years.
But like, how many years are we talking? Like 3 to 4.
Honestly, I would say you had to live with this person for 3 years.
Yeah,
that would be my minimum.
That's what I'm saying.
I can see that.
3 to 4 years.
Saying more or less.
No, I mean I don't think that I could see a little less than that.
If you've known
them for a while,
right?
And
like if you've been like dating,
like if you've been dating for a while and then you move in together and then you.
Okay, well how fast is like moving in with somebody like
total time? Let's get the total time first.
Okay.
Talking 5 years?
5 years? Because if you're dating for like a year and a half, then you decide to move in.
Well, no, even on the other end, if you're dating for 4 years and then you move in and you live with a person for a whole year, and you decide, yeah, like this person, like our living standards are like the same. I can handle this person, like whatever. I'm gonna marry them. 5 years total, 4 years of dating, 1 year of living. Is that good?
I think that's probably fine. I mean, any part in there, I would say if you knew them for 2 years and then you lived together for 3 years.
So we're saying 5 is the minimum?
5 is probably a good minimum, really.
Yeah.
The only caveat I had to that is like Leanne and I, we didn't wait that long. But we were older.
Yeah.
Like we didn't even get together until we were 26, 27. We moved in together less than a year. We lived together for about a year. And then we got married. So about 2 years or so from the time we met to the time we got married.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, because like if you're older, you kind of like
what
you want.
We've already gone through a lot of stuff. We've already,
and it's just like, okay, like, yeah, this is what I want. Because otherwise, like, older people would just be like, no, fuck this. That's not what I want. I'll end it now.
But the problem is most of these people now are meeting people in high school.
They
date for a year or two in high school, and then they get married.
And then it's like they're scared to break up because...
Some of it is.
Well, they live in like an alternate reality of like this like lovey-dovey, magical, fairy bullshit.
Well, yeah.
And it's just like, like, I like, you know, you got to be like...
anybody that age. I mean, that's my age, that's how they... When I was that age, that's how everybody was. You don't think anything bad's ever going to happen in your relationship. You guys are there together, you're going to be forever.
Yeah, it's you against the world.
But the other thing is... You know, and it's the baby boomers, my parents' generation, is set the standard for us that if things don't work out, it's okay to get divorced, no problem.
Yeah.
You know, if things just don't work out sometimes, just break up and move on. And so that sets a precedent for my generation that says, the slightest little thing goes wrong and you're obviously not compatible, just break up.
Yeah.
But if you're getting married that young, your only recourse is to get divorced. There's no breaking up, you're already married.
Yeah.
So...
Which I'm a strong supporter of divorce, but at the same time I'm not a strong supporter of getting married, like, early.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Which is like they go hand in hand. Like if you've been in a relationship and like you've been married for like 10 years and like things are just like they suck and like you need to get out, then get out. Like don't stay with this person. But if you got, it's kind of like the pregnancy thing. Like it's kind of like the abortion thing.
Abortions for
if you're using abortion and it's like your third fucking time because like you just can't keep your legs closed, like I'm sorry, like at some point like we got to cut you off. Like you have to live with the consequence of like what you're doing.
Right.
Well, if they're paying for it, I really don't care.
But they're not paying that much, and I think abortions are not that expensive. They're like $600.
Still pretty expensive.
Yeah.
It's just a whistle.
Not as expensive as taking care of a child for the rest of your life.
Well, yeah, but...
Plus, the consequence isn't there.
That's the thing. It's
I don't really care about the consequence, though. Like, it just doesn't... Like, that, like,
let's put it in money terms.
That's because that's more of a moral thing.
It just doesn't affect me.
Let's put it in, like, money terms, then. Like, think about the resources we're wasting on this one person because she keeps having babies. And we have to keep like wasting our time and
think about the resources you would waste if everybody just had babies. Your taxes would go up because then you have to pay for these little fuckers to go to school and shit.
So you're saying we just kill these people?
No, I'm just saying like let them get the abortion. Like I don't care.
Yeah,
if they want to pay $600 every time they get an abortion, hey, wrong with me. It's not my issue. It's not my problem.
I don't know. To me, it's just a stupid way to live your life.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
But
that's what I'm saying. It's a moral thing for me. Yeah. Like I used to be completely against abortion, and not against abortion. I was completely. There's a woman's right to choose. She can do whatever she wants as many times as she wants. As I've gotten older, I started to think, you know what? I mean, yeah, they have the right to do it, but if that's the way they're choosing to do birth control is to just not use anything, and if they get pregnant, have an abortion, I'm going to say, no, that's not the way you get to live. I'm going to make that moral judgment on you. And I'm going to legislate morality for you.
Yeah, well, if the person can't make moral decisions, if their mind, what am I trying to say here? If they have no moral compass, then you're going to have to give one to them.
Right, exactly.
Otherwise, just put a fucking bullet in their head. Because,
they're not contributing to society.
To anything, they're actually taking away. Because, you can always have the baby and put up
$600.
Yeah, which that money goes nowhere.
It doesn't go to you.
Yeah.
Okay, it goes to somebody. He's a doctor. He's making a living. He's doing something good with the money. I'm just saying. I just don't care. People want to kill each other? Fine with me, whatever. Just keep me out of it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, people are gonna do dumb shit all the time.
They do, but we try and limit the dumb shit they do.
Not really. We kind of promote it. I'm just saying, you have 16 and pregnant. Yeah,
you 16 and pregnant. The people, the amount of dumb people we have in the world. Just think about
but I mean, there's nothing I can do about it.
But I know, but that mentality will encourage this to continue. This trend of more dumb people rising. So it's each generation will be dumber and dumber until finally it's just a bunch of idiots running around. No one's using birth control.
That's just lack of education, though.
Well, yeah. It's the lack of educating them and telling them, no, you're going to stick with that baby now. 5's the limit. You're done having abortions.
I think, the best way to do it would be, sex education, stuff like that.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it does.
Because sex feels too good. No one's going to be
the moral standard doesn't work either, because all the little Republican girls are the ones that get fucking pregnant first before anybody else. It's like the hypocrisy of it. I'm a good, moral, whatever, Christian, Catholic, whatever, and then they go out and, because they think that, somebody's watching out for them, nothing bad can ever happen to them. I'm but it does happen to them, whereas, the person who's, more realistic and is I need to be more careful because they're probably more intelligent, more better educated.
Right, so you're helping our argument.
Huh?
You're helping our argument.
No, because the people on the other side are I'm going to just live by, morals, where the other person's no, I'm going to live by intelligent decision-making,
okay, so the people who
which guides my morals, in a sense.
Okay, so the people who live by this moral, whatever, that's
the people that aren't taking responsibility for themselves, that's what I'm saying.
And that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
They're getting, those people are getting to go to the abortion clinics every single time they have get pregnant, and just being able to flush it all out and be oh, I'm good. And they never learn their lesson. If we set a limit,
consequences for what they do, then that will shape them in the future to say, okay, I'm forced to have this child, I'm going to have this child, whether I keep it, put it up for adoption, whatever.
I will still have to endure the birth.
I will start using birth control.
Yeah.
I will start using condoms so that I don't have to go through that again.
I guess.
My argument is
how many abortions would you be allowed, though? How many abortions?
I don't think you need more than 3.
I would say 3. Yeah.
In your lifetime.
In your lifetime, 3 abortions.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
fair.
Yeah. I think that's pretty fair.
And that's the point we're making too. Is if you're going to use birth control as abortion, that and that's one of those little fallacy things. If you're going to use birth or use abortion as a birth control, why not just use birth control?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
It's that's why it exists. It's you don't have to use abortion.
But sometimes it doesn't work all the time.
Right. 99.9% of the time it's good.
You get those 3 chances that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
After that,
if
you stop having sex.
Yeah, if you got 3 abortions on birth control, you shouldn't be having sex.
But if you're saying you don't want a baby at all, I mean, you should be on birth control, and the guy should be using a condom.
Oh,
so now that's fucking 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get pregnant.
Yeah.
Unless the condom breaks and you're back to 99.9.
Yeah.
but that's the thing.
They
don't want to do that.
And that's what we're saying. Those people, they are smarter than the people who are getting these abortions, which is why you're given 3 chances. But after that, there's got to be a limit to you know what, you're a fucking idiot, and we need to put the restrictions on you so you can stop.
But then the kid just is raised as uneducated. just like the parents are. So like really the cycle just continues.
No, what we're hoping is that if that kid is born and raised by that person, they will have learned from their mistakes.
People don't.
Feel like that, don't you?
Some
You get
people
3
do.
abortions.
Some people do.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, then the other option is
Some people are just oblivious.
if you hit 3 abortions,
You hit 3 abortions and you're...
they tie your tubes.
Oh, I was gonna say that's good, but or if you hit
That might
3
be a little
abortions,
extreme.
if you hit 3 abortions and then you do have a kid, it is forced into adoption
Yeah.
because you're considered an unfit human being.
Right.
That's like remember they wanted to do psychological testing on women in order to have children. I agree with it. I'm gonna say I agree with it.
Well,
Because the psychological test is not that like strict. It's pretty
it's
like
not.
loosey goosey and like you can be a little crazy, but
yeah.
it'll weed out the people who rip their fucking baby's arms off and drown them in bathtubs. So
Well,
Yeah.
those are all.
well, I know who they are. I know,
They're
I know
all
what
religious
kind of people.
experiences too.
Yeah, I know what kind of people they are, but
Jesus told me to.
I mean, we should just not allow religious people to have babies.
Maybe we should just make it like getting a driver's license. Before you can actually even have a child, you have to go to the government, you have to fill out the paperwork, you have to take mandatory courses on how to raise children.
Well, that's kind of what they
You
want.
have to get a license to have
That's kind
children.
of what they. That's kind of what they do, like while they're pregnant, don't they? They like learn about all that
Not
stuff.
really.
Not necessarily.
No, we
Yes.
know some people that have kids that I don't understand why they. Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't understand how they were given that child.
Yeah.
People think like having a kid is like all about like just dressing them up like a little doll and everything. I'm
Well,
like,
yeah, and
oh,
that's
hell
the-
no. I'm like,
Well,
that's
because a lot of them have them so young that
yeah,
that's what they feel, because that's how they were raised to think of children
yeah.
as a little dress-up plaything.
And not fucking monsters that drain your bank account and your dreams and goals.
Yes.
hmm
'Cause that's what babies really are.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared.
Like honestly, if more people had that view of babies, I bet you a lot less people would be getting pregnant.
But women like naturally have that.
But I
Completely
think
opposite dressing
pregnancy
them up.
rates have probably gone down over the years.
While abortion rates have skyrocketed.
Well, that's why it should be the man.
No, because like haven't you? There's like
You should be the one to say, I'm wearing a condom, because I don't want to have kids.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to
there was
have
like a
kids.
recent like there was like
feel good.
there was a recent poll like saying like most girls will like like not give up their like virginity or whatever, like won't have sex with a dude, like they'll like do something else, but they're not gonna like have sex with just like any guy.
Show me that girl because I
Well, it's
have
polling.
not met a girl like that
Probably
yet.
not around
I've
here.
met a few of them. I don't like them.
Probably not around here, but
Because I would say that all of the girls around here, with the
Pretty
exception of
whorish.
like a handful of them, are kind of whorish. Yeah.
oh no, they're extreme whorish. I've never heard of so many people or met of like so many people that claim to have had like group sex parties.
Yeah, no, like group sex,
and
just
just
fucking,
like orgies and shit. I'm like,
fucking
what the
really
fuck
young.
is,
like really young, like sex, and just,
I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
and that's bad parenting.
Oh, yeah, it's very bad parenting, obviously. But,
I don't know. It's like that whole argument that we got into with Let's Face about like whether society should put a negative connotation on women who like act like that. And I'm like, yes, by all means, yes.
Yeah.
that's it.
Because I don't get how you could ever look at like that as a positive thing. How like we could biologically be like, oh yeah, you have sex with everyone, like yeah, like you're a good person. Like
Well, it doesn't make you a bad person.
it doesn't make you a
It just makes you
suitable candidate
It
for
just makes you a very.
mate.
It makes you a irresponsible person, I think.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
whether you're good, I mean, you could be like a good person and be irresponsible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you could be like, I'm
you
not gonna
teeter
kill
on-
anybody or steal anything, but you could be irresponsible.
I guess.
I don't know. My worry is that irresponsible person has sex so many times, and they'll have a baby, and then they'll raise that baby, and while they're raising the baby, they'll just go out and
All
party
I'm saying,
all
though,
night. And that
when I
baby will
get-
be
when I
fucked up.
get
So it's like
ma-
you ruin someone else's life because you're an idiot.
All I'm saying is, if I get married, I'm like, it's gonna be till death do us part. I'm like, I'm not dealing with no divorce
So
bullshit.
you'll kill her if she wants a divorce.
Yes. Somebody's
We
gonna,
got it on
We have it
record.
on recorded tape.
somebody's gonna die. No, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, if you're gonna get, like, married, like, why would you, I don't know, unless, like, the relationship was just,
Yes,
like, god-awful.
Matt, most of them, I'm not saying all, but most people that get married do not go into it expecting to get divorced. They really don't.
Yeah.
They may just not have a full understanding of what marriage is and the kind of sacrifices you have to make, and that it'll be a rude awakening for them during the marriage.
And that happens because they are not with the person long enough, or they're young, or whatever.
Usually,
Yeah. That's usually what happens.
But sometimes, yes, it's possible to have actually lived with somebody for a long time, but you can never really know what somebody else is like, really. You cannot. People can mask themselves their entire lives if they want. And sometimes that will come out in a marriage, and you have to get out. So that happens. But most people don't go in looking for it. Some people, especially in the younger generation, do just have it in the back of their mind as it's always an option. It's not that they're looking for it, but they know it's there and they can do it if they want.
Well, like you guys were saying, like, earlier, like, the generation now, it's like, they encounter, like, the slightest, like, fucking, like, problem that's, like, so minute. They're like, I give up. Like, I felt like, I remember, like, my ex-girlfriend was like that. And, like, I was like, I'm like, so you, what, I even asked her, I'm like, so are you just gonna, like, throw in the towel every time there's, like, a small little argument and, like, you, like, break down and have to, like, cry like a little baby? Like, are you just gonna throw in the towel? She's just like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm like, wow, that's pretty a pathetic way to live. I'm like, because what you're basically saying is, like, you don't want to put in the effort to, like, make the relationship, like, better or to learn from it.
Usually. They want it to be
they just want it to be, like, they want, like, they just want it now.
Yeah.
Like, they're just...
I think that's the word. That's really the key word, natural.
Yeah.
And it's not. Like,
No,
it never
they want it, like,
is.
instantly. It's like a fucking, like, instant ramen. They just, like, want it now, but they don't want to, like, fucking work for it.
To be honest, instant ramen takes a little longer than I would hope for it to take. But that's, I mean...
Like,
It's
nobody
a
wants to, like,
fairy
put
tale.
anything-
It's a fairy tale life.
Yeah,
It's like we met, love at first sight sort of thing. Like, he did something really cute, and, like, we're just, like, we're so in love, and everything just works out perfectly all the time. And you're like, no, bullshit. Like, that's not how it works.
And, like, it really annoys me when, like, people try to, like, scientifically prove that there's, like, some law of attraction. And they're like, oh, no, like, the atoms and blah. I'm like, okay, trust me. I'm like, the universe, like, doesn't give a shit about, like, silly love, romance stories. I'm like, I'm sorry to say that. I'm like, that's just, like, the reality of it.
Yeah.
The universe cares about
Itself.
suitable mates for, like, I don't know.
No, we care about suitable mates. The universe don't give a shit.
They might.
No, the universe is cold and indifferent.
Yes, trust me.
It has many other species and aliens to worry about.
Yeah,
They try to use that law of attraction. It's so dumb.
What was my psychology teacher actually?
And people buy into that
I know,
crap.
because my psychology teacher actually said it, and I'm like, great, you just influenced this whole classroom to believe in, like, love at first sight as, like, a real thing. And I'm like, you can like be.
But I found out where they got it from because I was watching a lecture with Brian Cox, the physicist.
Yeah, I didn't.
And, like, I forget the fucking theory. But it's basically like if you change the state of, like, one electron, like, you apparently change the state of all electrons in the universe. So people, like, and he worded it weird where he was saying, like, electrons are all, like, we're all connected in the universe, but, like, we're really not. It's just, like, if you change one state, like, not every electron could be the same state, so you have to change it. So they all have to change because they're, like, a waveform or some shit. But people take that as, oh, we're all connected in the universe, and, like, all of our feelings and everything are floating in, like, an ether. I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
And we would all be committing incest.
Huh?
So then we would all be committing
If you believe
incest.
in the Bible, we are all committing incest.
Yeah. I'm surprised there aren't more retarded children.
Alright.
God.
Maybe we're all retarded, but the retards are extremely,
what if they're the intelligent ones?
No, I said only Adam and Eve would be the intelligent ones. And then we're all a bunch of retards, so imagine how intelligent... Well, they did eat the fruit from the knowledge of... The tree of knowledge of power and truth and honesty.
Sure.
Or whatever that tree's called. I don't know. It's a stupid long name.
Called Steve.
Steve. So they were the smartest beings Well, Adam was the smartest.
Yeah.
And Eve was just his bitch.
Yeah. He was just his squeeze box toy.
Yeah. That's really what it was.
I mean, really, if you think about it, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That God created Adam, and then he decided Adam needed a fuck doll.
Mm-hmm.
So he created Eve. So that's what it is.
And
I
he's-
think we
really-
talked about this already.
We did talk
I
about
think we
something
probably
awesome.
did.
We said God was gay because he created man
Well, of
first
course.
instead of a
Well,
woman.
that's obvious,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, obviously.
It's
And
like,
then-
come on, like you have an you're God, your imagination's unlimited. You could create any woman you wanted. Yet you created a guy
Hold on.
first.
Does that make him gay? Because God is no gender.
Well, he's a guy in the Bible, which is
He's a being.
they say what he created. I think they refer to him as like a he, like a guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
There's no way in that time period they were going to give a
Yeah,
woman
they were.
rule over anybody.
Right.
When
He could be
now
both.
they,
He could be
like-
a tranny.
Well, he could.
He could,
He
but
probably is.
and then, yeah, I mean, if he's ever, ooh, here's something I was thinking about. I'm like, if God is everything, wouldn't he also be nothing? Because if he's everything, he must know what it's like to be nothing, and therefore he must be able to turn himself into nothing.
Not necessarily.
No.
Or could he kill himself?
Well, he could,
He could.
but it would basically be like the movie Groundhog Day. He's basically Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. He
What
even
is it?
says to him he is a god in that movie.
Or is it like one of those things where, like, you know, that little question where people are like, oh, like, is God, like, powerful enough to make a rock that even he can't lift? And people are like, well, like, no, because then, like, the minute he, like, created the rock, like, God would become stronger than the rock.
And they have a point.
I'm just like, oh.
Whoa. No one is stronger than The Rock, Matt. You tell me Dwayne Johnson isn't the strongest human being on the fucking planet? Okay, now we're just getting into some bullshit here. Let's get this back on track. Yeah, so God's gay.
God's clearly gay.
Yes.
That's just nasty to think that he created Adam and Eve and then just sat there looking at his little Earth monitor screen, just beating his dick.
I mean, it was a science experiment, dude. That's all it was. He probably won for his third grade experiment.
Yeah, probably. What if God is just one of many gods who have made multiple universe science
Oh,
experiments?
he probably is, and he's probably not even the smartest one out there. We probably got, like, the retard of the class.
We probably did.
Because look at this work.
Look at us.
Look at this. This is not the work of the greatest scientific mind in the world.
My God. It just blows your mind whole when you think about it.
Yeah. It does.
Here's something interesting. Okay, so hold on.
Overselling it, but
Uh-huh.
continue.
Let me get my point. Okay, so
Okay.
in the Old Testament, you know, man like fucks up like royally.
The what?
The Old Testament.
I don't know what that is, Matt.
The
I live in the 21st century
the
America.
Tanakh.
I live in
The
southern 21st century America.
I'm just saying, like, okay, so like the beginning, you know, he like creates man and you know Adam and Eve and all that crap, and then mankind like becomes like so violent that he eventually has to wipe them all out and start over with Noah, and then even they like are kind of like still bad. So like my question is like why would he send a man down to try to fix mankind?
Not just a man. Why would he do a man and a whole boat full of fucking animals?
No, I'm saying like why would he send his son? Like why not send a daughter? Because apparently like the females aren't really running things, so maybe you should like switch it up.
No.
You should be like, yeah, we'll let a woman run it with some like fucking emotion
No.
that doesn't involve killing
Have you
people.
ever seen a woman run anything and not into the ground? Yeah.
Corona beers. A
Matt,
woman knows
I just
that.
asked you if you've ever seen a woman not run something into the ground.
That's not running to the ground. She's like a billionaire.
How many times do you go to a bar and someone goes, "Can I get a Corona, please?" Unless that
Unless
People
you're
do.
in
People do.
South Beach. That's
Yeah.
about the only places they go.
and unless that man has a penis in his ass, I don't know
Exactly.
who is.
I'm trying to think of somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
J.K. Rowling.
No, her new book
Her new book is,
ran her whole
yeah.
fucking like literary genius into the ground.
But she's still a billionaire.
Sure. So
That's
is
all
the
that matters.
queen, but
Yeah, I mean,
Queen's an old bitch.
That's all that matters.
that's all that matters. Money is all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
The
Money
people
can buy
the people
you
that say-
sex, which is love, which translates to love.
Money can buy you everything.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need.
That's all I need.
Money can buy you everything. Money can solve every
Money can't
world
buy you
problem.
more money.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, it can.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can.
Where's the money store?
Cash for gold.
Yeah.
You trade your cash for gold.
Money. Yeah.
And then you hold on to that gold. You just made more money, bro.
Yeah, but I'm talking about going in and actually
No,
paying cash
no,
for
no.
more cash.
You could always trick a retard into. You can give him a $5 bill and have them hand you back a $10 bill because you tell them it's a 1 and the zero's just.
What if
there
you get
as
like a
extra.
rare piece of?
That's true.
What if you
Yeah,
get
see?
like a rare bill?
That does work.
A rare bill.
You know, and they do the little, they grade it and everything. You turn it in, and you get like, the bill was like what $100, and now you get like $500.
The better question is, if you have a ton of money, why do you need to buy more money
Because when is enough?
when you have all of it?
Hold on.
Exactly. How are you going to get all of it?
With
You
interest,
gotta buy it.
No, you
What if-
steal
hold
it
on, hold on. What if you put it in the bank?
I'll go
because
with
then you
that.
pay the cops off.
You earn
money.
interest if you put it in the bank. So you're earning money.
Whoa,
with money.
whoa! Maybe in the 1800s, Matt. I don't know any bank that actually earns interest nowadays.
No, it's like 2%, but if you're a millionaire, or billionaire,
I
like
think
that's a lot.
my plan's better. You just
That's a
steal
lot.
the
Yeah,
money.
let's just steal it.
You steal money because you really can't go to jail if you have money.
Oh, okay. So there
You
we
really
go.
can't.
That's one we can talk about.
You really can't.
Have you guys watched the trailer
Lindsay Lohan? Oh.
for Now You See It?
No,
Yes.
I have not.
Yes.
What is it about?
What are your thoughts?
Hey, what is it about?
Okay, so it's Jesse Eisenberg,
Okay.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson,
Isla Fisher.
Isla Fisher, who's the chick from Hot Rod,
Okay.
Who's the other one?
James Franco's brother.
Yeah, his brother. Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
James Franco's brother from 21 Jump
21
Street.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
kid, whatever. So it's them, and they're magicians, and they pull off a bank heist in the middle of one of their magic acts, where they somehow transport one of their own to rob a bank in Paris, bring all the money, and shower it on the audience.
Give it to the audience.
And they're just like, good night. They throw their hands up. Everybody's like, woo! And then they're back in their little suite in their penthouse thing in their hotel. FBI busts in, and it was like a real. It wasn't just like a magic show. It was like they really robbed a bank. Somehow they went from their spot in where was it, in
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas to Paris in 2 seconds and robbed a bank. So it's like this group of magicians robbed a bank, and then it's like this crazy stuff. Morgan Freeman, isn't it?
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman's in it.
Damn.
What's his face is in it? The other Batman dude, is he? Michael Caine? Is he in it?
Is Michael Caine in it? I don't
Better
remember.
It might be just be Morgan Freeman, and then
this movie's turning out to be
Mark Ruffalo,
Oh, yeah.
Hulk. But yeah, it actually looks
interesting at least.
pretty
The
good.
fucking cast lineup is amazing.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg. What more do you need?
Well, you got Woody Harrelson in it too.
Done.
I know.
Dude, it's pretty much magic and Zombieland put together.
Well, there are gonna be zombies in this one,
Huh?
so there won't be zombies.
I
that
know,
we
but I'm
know
just
of.
saying,
that we
We've only
know of.
seen a 2-minute trailer.
Ooh.
so-
And they are magicians, so who
That's
knows
right.
what they got in the store? It could be
Who knows?
misdirection.
I just hope Woody Harrelson has a Twinkie addiction.
It looks like a blend between the Italian Job and the Prestige.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking, The Prestige. Or
Yeah.
The Illusionist.
No, the illusion was real. It was supposed to be real, magical.
No. Remember that was the one where it was set up. The Prestige was supposed to be more
Well, the Prestige was
Magic.
just science. It was they
it
were
was
cloning
it was a
themselves.
science one, but the other one was it was all set up.
Yeah, I would still say it's the Prestige.
Yeah.
Because it's a big setup. It's real life.
I guess.
The
Yeah.
Illusionist had too much magical stuff to it.
It was more fairy tale.
Yeah, when he told his past
Storybook type.
Yeah. Plus, wasn't the Illusionist John? Was that John Cusack?
No, it was Edward Norton.
Edward Norton, same thing. Same guy. Was it John Cusack? Was in American History X, right? Where he's getting fucked in the shower?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was him.
Might as well have been. I don't know how that happened. I do apologize. How are we on time? Hour and 40 minutes. Okay, we should probably wrap it up about now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless we have more to talk about.
I'm trying to think. New Jet Li movie looks pretty good.
It does.
I don't think I saw it.
The Sorcerer and the White Snake or whatever. It's pretty damn good. What else is there? I haven't been keeping up on too much news stuff. I've been busy. School and work.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anything like in the world happening? Anything relevant? Like any?
You know, I mean the same usual shit in the Middle East, but who fucking cares?
Yeah.
At this point, until something gets blown up, I just don't care.
I always like
in the U.S.
Yeah, really, pretty much.
I always like watching the War on Christmas every year on Fox.
The Bill O'Reilly.
God, did you see that interview?
I didn't see it. No,
because they always had to. They always had to
Yeah.
bring like an atheist on board and like ask him like, why is he doing this, like shit like that. But
why is he doing what?
Like why they file like lawsuits, like why the ACLU like files lawsuits against like the city for doing the, they do like the Christmas mangers, which I found out most of the time it's not the ACLU that files the lawsuit. Basically, like if I saw like a manger, like a nativity scene, like in City Hall, like basically like what happens is like an atheist would like go up there and be like, hey, like I want to put my own, like a display up. And by law, like they have to like allow you if they're doing it as like a public thing, because the separation of church and state, you can't like favor one thing over another.
Right.
So basically, what happens is like okay, they have to allow it, and then I guess the Christians will actually file the lawsuit against the city for allowing it.
Yeah. And
then it gets like turned around, like the ACLU like filed the lawsuit. And I was like, well, not all the time. But he was like arguing with this guy. And so Bill O'Reilly tried to sneak his way around it by saying that Christianity was a philosophy and not a religion, so therefore it doesn't fall under the separation of church and state. And like it was just so funny because like the guy just like looked at him and he's like, you're not going to tell me on live television that Christianity is a philosophy. And he's like, yeah, I am. He's like, well, you and me, buddy, he's like, you and me, buddy, are going to fundamentally disagree on fucking, like, almost, like, every point you just made then. I was just, like, laughing so hard. But, like, Jon Stewart and them have to, like, rip on it. And it's just funny. They're just like, Bill, like, why? Why would you do this? But I'm like, hey, if you want to make it into a philosophy, I'm like, we'll just take away your tax-exempt status. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they should. I don't see the benefit of just a community that only benefits a certain group.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it because they do it for all religions. So
yeah,
if they favored one over
besides.
But I'm just saying, like,
Hinduism.
Because like most people see it as like a
that's not
like a community organization.
Yeah.
Like most people probably go there just because like they know people that go there. It's like a community thing.
Just go there to get fucked by the pastor.
I really like. I have a sneaking suspicion that most people have never read the Bible, have only read parts of the Bible, or don't like believe a lot of stuff in there. That should not be a
sneaking suspicion. That should be a.
But I'm saying like to me like
reality.
If you're gonna, I mean, but so now you just have a community of people that are just getting together, and like I know they like donate money and they do like charity thing, but like if you're gonna have like a local event, like I think you should make it like public to everyone. It shouldn't just be like, oh, like you have to be a member of this church or you have to be a Christian. I'm like, I think like if you're gonna have like a big event, like a carnival event, you should allow everybody in because everybody's, kind of contributing. I don't know. It would make it a lot more open.
They do.
No, not this church. Not the ones over here. You actually have to be a member.
Everyone I've ever been to, they open their carnivals and like little stuff to anybody who wants to come.
What churches?
Every church I've ever seen in my life.
I've never seen one like that. Most of these places you have to be a member. And like some of them you have to like they actually have like a mandatory like tithing of like 10% of like your income. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, well those are
I'm like no wonder everybody's like fucking like poverty stricken. If you make $300,000 a year, that means $30,000 is going to the church, like without like any question.
Yeah.
Like just there you go. There's my money.
Yeah, I mean, I think tithing obviously is a stupid thing anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically like you're buying your way into heaven, and if it's that easy,
But I just think it's like
I don't
funny
wanna
because
go
like
I don't want to go there.
Because it's probably filled with evil people.
It's filled with evil rich snobs, dude.
I just think it's funny because like they have people that open up, you know, like institutions for like science and research kind of things, and they'll be like, hey, like they'll fill out the paperwork to get tax exempt, but then they get replies back from the government like, can you please explain how science like helps humanity? And you're just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, look around you, like everything is science, like engineering, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
The lights in your house, the TVs that you love to watch, the radios.
Wait, what?
Yeah, those are powered by the Lord.
I was just like, oh my
Like
god.
on the subject, like the one of the ladies that I work with, older woman, she's like heavy, like fucking holy roller,
Mm-hmm.
and we got this book in, and it's remember that guy that like lived a year biblically?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a woman who wrote this one. It's like a new one.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, and so like she's gonna
Yeah, I
live.
saw about it too.
Yeah, live a whole year, like biblically, whatever. And on the back, it kind of reads like what she's gonna do, and it's like no shaving, obeys everything her man tells her, sleeps outside when she's on her period,
Mm-hmm.
like goofy stuff like that. And the lady that I work with has the balls to be like, I don't know how she thinks that's living biblically. And I'm like, well, I'm like, it's, and like when I explained it to her, I almost felt like the idiot because of like how easy that answer was. I was just like, well, like she's living it literally, like she's living what's in the Bible literally for women.
Right.
And she's like, point to me where it says that in the Bible. And I was
Should have gone to the Bible and be like, hold on.
I'm like, you realize
There.
I should be like, you realize this is a bookstore, right? And I was like, and you're the Christian one here, like you're the holy roller. But then like it dawned on me in that like that moment, I'm like, oh, here's another heavy Christian person who's never read the Bible.
Right.
But the person doing the living like living literally to the Bible is a Christian.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do you really think she'd be living outside in a fucking tent if she didn't have to?
Oh, and that's the funny part is that the other book, the one written by the man, is in the humor section because he's making fun of it. Like
Yeah. But
he's
she's actually
showing-
being serious.
Yeah,
like,
so hers is in the Christian like life section, which when you look at the two books, they're identical in like their context.
yeah.
So I'm like, no, these are both humorous in the fact that like it's ridiculous.
I think it's because the guy was an atheist probably, and like this lady's a Christian, so she's being a good Christian by being like like exploring the Christian lifestyle and like blah blah blah, where the atheist who like doesn't understand it is being satirical and like making fun of it, which in a way the lady's kind of making fun of it too. Like even she's like it's amazing how many silly things are in here that I didn't like realize. It's like I can see, like she's like, I can see why we don't follow these standards anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, good luck telling any one of these little Frisco bitches to go sleep outside on their period.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
Which I mean, I think they should.
I remember like saying in school, like if we ever got into like a big religious topic, which we did in that like government class, I'm sorry, but like I don't understand how any woman could be religious. I'm like, if you've actually read, the Quran or the Bible, or even like the Old Testament, I'm like, women are put down like, they're compared to like
dogs.
fucking animals.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like no better than like hyenas.
They're
in like some
property.
books. Yeah. And like they're disgusting when they're on their periods. Like you said, they have to sleep outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth.
But that part I agree with. Most of the other stuff in the Bible I also agree with. When it comes to women.
When it comes to women, the Bible is really right on.
Yeah.
It
It's
was written by the
really
man.
my
It was
manual
written by
that I
God.
use for my relationship.
It is the word of God, women. So if you don't go sleep outside on your period, then like you ain't a real Christian. Gotta do everything I tell you to. When I want my D sucked, it's gonna get sucked because the Lord wants my dick to get sucked by you.
Of course.
I think that's the first thing we've all agreed on.
As far as what, religion?
Actually, I think we agree on pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I just realized I want to be a Christian.
If I can find someone who will live the way the Bible says.
No, because I want shaved armpit. Wait, can one of the rules supersede the other rule? Like, if they're not allowed to shave, but then they must obey their man, first law of robotics says that you cannot harm another human being. Like, could I tell them that you need to shave their armpits? Would my jurisdiction overrule that of what God said? As long as God told me I could have the final...
Yes.
Okay, good. Then we're good.
Yes.
How about you just replace it and say instead of shaving... Never mind.
No, I would say you have to shave
like
everything. Minus your head.
Well, this is what I would say.
Yeah.
Why don't you just shave her?
Because I don't want to.
Because then it doesn't really matter. Because she didn't go against what God said. You did. And as a man, you are infallible in the eyes of God.
That's true. All I have to do is just give a few bucks to tithing and I'll be okay.
And you'll be good.
Alright, sounds perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that book is perfect.
That book is better and better every time I read it.
You really see, you read parts of it that you just didn't get the first time.
Exactly. It's so dense and there's just so many layers to it. And I mean, you just really see that God really had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And he stuck to it all the way to the end. Which is just amazing. Because most TV shows and movies just crap out at the end. Like, they start really strong and then they just kind of lose the thread somewhere in between and they just start making shit up.
Mm-hmm. But not God.
Not God. Mm-mm.
Hey, so I want to ask you something.
It's like more religion stuff I don't really want to talk about.
Just one more thing.
Okay.
So, okay, like on like Facebook, you know, we have like friends that post stuff.
Sure, we have friends.
I got friends that post stuff, and so what do you tell them if somebody that they know has died? Do you just be like, oh well, looks like your God wanted that?
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I actually said.
And if you do say that and they get angry, like, what should your response be back to them? Be like, well,
don't be angry with me, be angry with God.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you getting angry? Like, you're the one who says all this stuff every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so I thought that's what you believed. I'm trying to respect your belief.
I would keep it simple to where it doesn't sound disrespectful. It would just be like, you know, like, oh, my grandpa died today, like, God bless me, rest in peace, whatever, and I'd be like, well, God has a plan. That's how I just put, well, God has a plan. Smiley face. And they would respond by, you fucking asshole and stuff, and I'd be like, whoa, first of all, that F word just took you down a step to hell. So we need to talk about that. And then, second of all, I'll be like, your God did it. What you yelling at me for? Yell at him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why are you upset? Like, it's the cycle. It's just a circle of life.
It's a circle. It's the
Hakuna
Hakuna Matata.
That was respond with Hakuna Matata every time. Let's make that a thing.
I want that set at my funeral. I want that on my fucking tombstone. Just Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata. Fuck your mama. She dead.
Oh, I feel like I need to post a video, like on the response.
I think that's
for the rest of your days.
Better words have never been spoken.
No,
I mean, that's what I'm here for.
What language is that? Hawaiian, right?
It is Lion King-esque.
Leon Canese.
Leon King-esque.
Leon Canese. Leon Canese. Okay. Is there a Rosetta Stone? I think there's a Rosetta Stone for that.
Oh yeah, of course.
See, and that's like one of those things where, like, you know, somebody like throw back in your face. So it's like, oh, like, well, you wouldn't like that. I'd be like, no. I would love if somebody posts that on my Facebook. If, like,
I don't care who dies. If my mom or dad dies, even if God forbid, if Snowball dies, and someone says, "Hey, Hakuna Matata," I'd be like, "You goddamn right. I'm sorry, I didn't see it that way."
Exactly.
But if they posted the video, that would be even better.
Yeah, then I'd be like, you know what, sir?
Shit.
I was in the wrong. Because I can admit when I'm wrong. And that's really what it comes down to, is being a bigger man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is knowing that your penis is big, and that you're able to admit when you're wrong. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And on that note, When we're talking about penises, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. What's our time?
Oh shit, hour 54.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Alright, so you just listened to 3 Stuff Guys. We talked about farts and a lot of religion. A lot of stuff about whether or not we should be able to have abortion.
Yeah, we hit a few topics I wasn't expecting, and we spent a lot more time than I expected.
Than I hoped. Alright,
For a lighthearted
Comedic
comedic newscast, we went a little heavy.
Well, you know what? We haven't done a podcast in like 2 weeks, so
Yeah.
we had to get into some heavy shit.
we had to.
Next one will be very light.
This was the blue balls of podcasting. It was all built up.
True.
We had to drop some heaviness on to your women faces.
Next week it will be just exploding loads all over.
Hopefully, after this podcast, we'll go take care of our blue balls.
Yes.
Either together or not, and we'll blow our loads everywhere. And then when we come back, we'll be drained and refreshed.
Sounds good.
Sounds cleansing. Alright, so you can go to 3stuffedguys.libsyn, libsyn.com. That's where our podcast is hosted, and that is tied to iTunes. So you can search for us on iTunes, 3 Stuff Guys on there, rate and subscribe. Twitter.com/3 Stuff Guys is our Twitter. Facebook.com/3 Stuff Guys, it's a number 3 for all these, don't spell it out, is our Facebook. You can follow us on there. YouTube.com/3 Stuff Guys will have all the episodes whenever we run out of room on iTunes. What?
That's what's selling.
And so subscribe to us on there and leave comments and all that crap. 3stuffguys@gmail.com is our email. Please send us emails. We would like we would like suggestions of places to go and eat and review and stuff, or if we review a restaurant and talk about a restaurant or whatever, and you disagree with us, feel free to email us and we'll make fun of you.
Mercilessly.
And if you want to shout out, like, just pretty much, if you just want anything.
If you got bad,
and if you have
a story of like a bad experience at a restaurant, like, please tell us so we can.
Yeah, so we can talk about
it on the air.
You can tell us your name if you want us to read your name out loud, or you can keep it anonymous, whatever, or your username. Yeah. So yeah, we got that, and then if you just want to ask any questions for us to talk about, just anything really, like any current events, I guess, that are happening, we can shed some light on that. And then we want to thank Raphael Chellan for the use of our theme song called Get Stuffed off of his thing. And then he DJs and stuff, apparently. There's a Facebook page if you can find it, King Chels Productions. That app is coming out soon, at the same time that our new website will be coming out.
Hopefully.
So, no, it will be, Matt, because you have nothing to do right now, so you'll be working on it.
That is true. You have nothing to do. There is no reason you can't get this done.
So you got to work on this web page, and you just got to make some simple fucking pictures for that app.
Alrighty.
And that app is on both the iOS App Store and Google Play, Android Marketplace. That's it, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks.
Matt.
All right.
Hakuna Matata.